Because I'm apparently an adult, I'm allowed to use fire at 10 o'clock at night in my garage. That was really hot. Along with all of this fun stuff, and some weights. And a happy bowl. Happy about safety. Because tonight, we're crushing rocks. I found these two gorgeous pieces of rock sitting right next to an exploratory dig hole.
Whoever the kind stranger was who put this stuff here, thank you.
You see, whoever had dug that hole back in the 1800s had stacked up a little wall of rock right next to their dig hole, and he kept it completely separate from his waste rock. And I want to know if that's because there's gold in these rocks, or because he was just trying to get them out of the way. Loop. The first specimen I have for you here has everything I like to see, including a little bit of pyrrhotite, chalcopyrite, mixed with quartz, and a lot of pyrites. These are the sections that have really got me interested. That super soft rock mixed in with a very hard quartz is made up of all the minerals that tend to bring gold to the surface. Just look at the pieces of little pyrrhotite and iron that are poking their heads out here. That first piece is a lot softer. This has a lot more hard white quartz in it, but it still has a lot of the same mineral content scattered throughout it. And I keep finding little pockets here and there of that iron-rich material. So first things first, we are going to put a respirator on. Yes, I know I have a beard, all of that sort of stuff, but this does cut down on a lot of the dust, and I want to be as safe as I can be at this point. I have a positive pressure mask on order, which should fix the whole beard problem. Fire makes crushing quartz a lot easier. But when you are burning quartz that has a lot of associated minerals in it, not only is a respirator a good idea, ensuring that you have a well-ventilated area is also a must. Obviously that is going to be super hot right now. Now you can cold shock this, but I don't really want to get it wet. I just need to cool the dolly pot down more or less. And so I got my trusty bucket of water. I just need to cool down the dolly pot, not the actual quartz itself. The microfractures will have already happened through the weak points in all the mineralization. Hopefully you can understand me through the mask until I can take it off. The torch tends not to heat the quartz up as much as it does the metal elements contained within it. And that's where the fractures occur, making it easier to crush, and it also releases more gold from that quartz. And I did accidentally get a little bit of water in there because, you know, I was doing it in the dark, but that should suppress the dust a little bit. Hot. Warm. Warm. That's okay. I can live with warm. Hot. No. That's actually not that bad. It's just the rocks. Alright, Stampy. Your time to shine. So this should be pretty easy to crush. Apparently not. There we go. If there's gold in this, it's likely to be powder. I did get a few metal signals going throughout this quartz, but I don't know which pieces exactly. I just picked it all up. Dolly potting quartz like this by hand is amongst the most tedious ways of doing it. But I can't start machinery at 10 o'clock at night. My neighbours would kill me. The gold in my area is very fine, so I'm using a 50 mesh screen here. And that every one of those holes is about 1/50th of an inch. That's enough to tell us if there's gold in the rock. And if there is, I'll keep processing this down. Water, 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 water. Heavily mineralized, and I cannot wait to get this mask off. Oh. This is just the experiment. If there is gold in this, we'll know very soon. Because we've classified to 1/50th of an inch, the gold in this should be relatively fine, and any chunks will be in our oversized material that's still in the dolly pot. I'm seeing sulfides. Look how dark the sulfides are. That's probably because we cooked them. The question is, do they contain gold? Oh, I can't believe how dark that is coming off the side there. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think we've got gold. Now bear in mind we are under atrocious lighting conditions here, but there is gold sitting at the top of the pan there. Look at those extremely dark sulfides. And then just up here I've got one piece. You can kind of see them a little bit more clearly there. I don't know about you, but I couldn't see shit last night, so we're trying again in the morning. In here is what I hand dolly potted last night, and in here is what we've got left to do. That is a hand-operated jaw crusher, and it is way faster than Stampy. Well, as you can see, that does a much better job, much quicker. And yeah, look, absolutely, there is some chunky boys left in there, but we now know that this isn't the most incredibly rich ore out there. I just want to get a good idea of what was in those rocks. This is a magnetic mechanics tray, so you put your bolts and stuff that you're taking off cars or whatever you're working on. Works great for picking up the filings and crushings, but it also tends to hold a little bit of dirt in those magnetic filings, so you kind of got to mix the metal around. And take this over to the wheelbarrow. A lot of people have been asking me, yeah, Chris, what's in your wheelbarrow? I promise you, nothing interesting. I actually ran that experiment once. Didn't find anything. I found like 1/10 of a gram. It is so much easier panning in the daylight. Roasting the sulfides actually releases a little bit more gold because some of the gold can be coated in sulfides and the heat destroys it, therefore releasing the gold. It also makes the sulfides a lot easier to pan off. They're not as heavy, they're not as dense. Now I'm not expecting to see much gold, like I'm not seeing anything in here, but you never know. Was our 10 PM saute worth it? Let's find out. I still can't believe how dark those sulfides get when you roast them. Pretty impressive. Is that gold? Right there, is that gold? Oh, damn! Whoa! I haven't finished panning this back yet, but look! That's gold! That's significant gold. Alright, well my hunch is that guy, we got more! That guy was definitely setting that rock aside for a reason. I am real glad I picked that up. Whoa! There's chunks in there! No way! I was not expecting to see that at all. We got barely any fine gold with it though. What's crazy is that we've got these, like, look at that specimen. That's been flattened by my crusher, obviously. But that little specimen there, and all those chunks, there's hardly any fine gold in the under 50 mesh. There's a couple of places that I prospect for gold that I call nugget or nothing ground. Depending on where you are geographically speaking, the geology of that ground can lend itself to producing nice chunky coarse bits. but they're sporadically distributed throughout the rock. They're not like a solid ribbon of gold, and there's not a lot of fine gold that comes out with them. Conversely, I've got spots that you can crush heaps of rock and get no chunks at all and just get heaps of fine gold. And apparently, I'm looking for chunks or nothing. That all came out of a very small sample. I got signals through the rock. This is some of the rock here, this stuff, and I've been processing it and I've got a couple little bits, and this just confirms my suspicion that that pile was stacked up for a reason, and more than likely, if I crush a bucket or two of that, I might not get a lot of fine gold, but maybe I'll get a few more chunky boys.